Hey there, music hustlers. I'm Christine Morel, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 awesome ways to stay inspired, even if you're not feeling creative or you got writer's block. Let's go. Number one, take a walk. Sometimes you're sitting there, you're getting frustrated, you're trying to think of something to write, and your brain's just getting all boggled up, and you're like, ah! Walking is good because of a couple things. Physically, your body, you get blood rushing, your mind and your spirit can rest a little bit, so you can get your mind off of all the frustration that's going on and relax. One of my favorite things to do is I love to people watch. So sometimes I'll go to the local park and just sit there, either walk around or just sit and watch other people. Sometimes I get a good laugh, or sometimes I watch little kids and it makes me feel at peace, or sometimes I watch people playing with like really cute dogs, or sometimes I watch kids, just running around driving their parents crazy. But regardless, it's entertaining for me, it's fun for me, it's relaxing, and it keeps my mind at ease and off of the fact that I've been trying to write a song for the last 5 hours and have gotten nowhere. 2, watch a movie. That's one of my favorite things to do if I'm not feeling inspired, and one of the things that inspires me the most. So I'm like a big war movie fan, so I know that's probably weird, but I love like Gladiator, like, are you not entertained? And I love Braveheart. Freedom! Watch movies that you love. And the thing is, it puts us in this like emotional state, right? If you watch like a love movie, you're usually feeling lovey-dovey. Or if you watch some sort of scary movie, right, you're freaked out. Like, it just puts us in this emotional state that we normally wouldn't maybe have been in had we not watched that movie. So take advantage of that state that you're in and start writing down what you're feeling. Sometimes watching these movies will bring up like other memories that I've had. So I immediately write those down. I write down what I'm feeling. I write down what I remember. And sometimes I'll just write down the story. Like maybe I'm just watching like some heartbreak movie and it reminds me of this time, and I'll write down that story, and then I'll pick out little pieces that I think, man, these really would work well in the story in lyric form for my song. 3, don't be a yes person. Okay, sometimes I have not been able to stay inspired because I'm not able to focus. And whenever I tell everyone yes, if people are asking me to go out or to hang out or to do this or to do that, sometimes by saying yes to everybody, because sometimes we're people pleasers, right? We want people to like us, but by doing that, we take off our focus of what our dreams and our goals are. So don't be afraid to tell people no. Don't be afraid to tell people, hey guys, I just have something that's really important to me tonight. I'm not gonna make it out to the get together. I'm not gonna make it out to the barbecue or whatever it is. Don't feel bad. If they're your friends, they know how much your dreams mean to you, and they're going to understand that you're just being focused. 4, create micro goals. I love doing this because nothing's more satisfying than just like checking things off of my to-do list. And what I mean by micro goals is, instead of just putting like write a song today, right? Because that's kind of like a big, goal there. I know some people that write 4 songs a day or whatnot, but for me, writing a whole song takes some time. So I'll usually say like write the first verse or write the first verse and the chorus, because I feel like I'm getting something done, instead of putting write 3 songs. If I don't check that off, I feel like I didn't do what, my goal was for the day. And that doesn't feel good. It doesn't make me feel productive. And in turn, doesn't make me feel creative and inspired. So what I usually do is I'll put something really simple. Today I'm going to write the verse, or today I'm going to write the piano chords to, 1 or 2 songs, 1 or 2 melodies that inspire me, or that make me want to write, or that get me excited, or think of what those small goals are. And that's what micro goals are. They're small goals that contribute to your large goals, and by marking those off, you'll feel like you've accomplished something. And by taking baby steps, you will arrive at your major goal by taking those small goals one at a time. 5, stop comparing yourself to others. Stop that. Listen, everyone usually posts just what's positive in their life, just what's positive that's going on. And a lot of people inflate, what's going on, or they, take a picture next to a car that's not theirs, or whatever it is that they're doing, right? What you want to do is you just want to focus on yourself, because by comparing ourselves to others, sometimes we get down on ourselves, or we start feeling like we're not doing anything, or we feel like everyone else's life is perfect except ours. And that can really get us feeling down on ourselves and can really make our brain not feel very creative, right? So mostly understand that when you look at other people's Instagram and Facebook and that sort of thing, they're only posting, this is like their highlight reel. They're posting all the positive stuff going on. And, I know so many people personally that, will post like, oh my God, life is amazing. I'm so thankful. Yet I just got off the phone with them and they were like in tears. So I know the real truth, and I'm sure that that's happened to you. And I'm sure that that's happened, even for myself. Sometimes I'm having a bad day, but I'm still pushing through. I'm recording music, I'm making music, I'm doing things. And I'll share that on social media, but nobody really knows that I'm having a hard day. They just see that I'm creating music and that sort of thing. So I would say don't focus on thinking that everyone else's life is perfect. No one's life is perfect. Everyone is human. We all go through the same heartbreak and struggles and those types of things. So don't be so hard on yourself. But I will also say, even whenever I'm in those states where I'm kind of feeling down and that sort of thing, sometimes I'll write about that. And there's been many times where I've written about, feeling kind of down or under the weather, that sort of thing. And then I create something really amazing. Like I'll create like a really cool melody, or I create some really cool lyrics that I love. And then I feel like way better, because now I'm like, man, like at least I was able to turn the way I felt into a great song. I bet that's how Adele felt, because her album is so incredible, but I can only imagine the heartache that came from that. I've read stories. I don't know what really happened, but dang, that woman must have been very sad, but her music ended up being amazing. So I would say no matter how you're feeling, one, try not to get down on yourself, but even if you're feeling bad, push through, continue to write, and you'll create some really cool content that I'm sure other people will be able to relate to by you talking about whatever you're feeling at that moment. 6, turn your phone off. Getting interrupted while you're being creative, or where you're like right on the verge of like coming up with something awesome, is like the worst thing ever, especially if you're thinking of really cool melodies, or you're really feeling the vibe. Like maybe you're really feeling like this love vibe, or maybe you're feeling this heartbreak vibe, or whatever it is, or this uplifted vibe. The worst thing that you want to get dragged into is some conversation with a friend or somebody else that's on some whole other different topic. And now you got to come after you've talked to them for 30 minutes. Now you come back to your session trying to get back in the vibe, trying to get back in the energy. And sometimes it's impossible to get it back. Turn that phone off, get off social media. Focus on your music. And even if it's just you having 30 minutes for you to do that, just do that. Work with what you have. I know people got jobs, people got kids. I have a son. I have very little time. I write songs sometimes with my son literally sitting on my lap. And sometimes I only have 10 minutes, and maybe I only get through a few little melodies. Maybe I only get through a few little words. But like I said before, it's all those little things that you do every day that add up, that will eventually get to your goals. And maybe it takes me a little bit longer to write a song because I have my child and I have all these other things going on. And maybe it takes you longer. That's okay. The thing is, add a little bit of time each day. If all you got is 20 minutes, dedicate those 20 minutes, but you want to be focused as much as you can. So get away all those distractions like phone or your TV. Get off your computer and focus on your music. 7, go to an open mic. These are really cool because open mics have all kinds of different talented people, right? Not just musicians and singers, but you're also going to find poets, people that do spoken word. I remember once I was in New York at this like underground club, and this woman went inside there, and she was completely painted blue, and she had like little fake birds like sitting on her arms, and she was just up there. And it was really cool for me. I wasn't really a fan of the music that she was making, but I was a fan of her energy, and I loved the fact that she just got up there, and it just kind of put me in this mood of like, man, if she can get up there and paint herself blue and talk to her imaginary birds in the middle of this club in New York, then I can write what I think, right? I can write lyrics, or I can focus on my music, or maybe I can do something that's a little bit out there, or maybe a little bit different. It kind of made me think, I want to get over my fear of sometimes worrying about what, someone's going to think about this, because that woman, obviously, like, she went above and beyond, just going like, I don't care what y'all think. I'm blue. I got fake birds here. She had like flowers and stuff painted on her face. And she just went up there and did her thing. And I thought that was really awesome. So that was an interesting inspiration for me. I wasn't even necessarily inspired by the music, but I was inspired by her taking action. So you might be inspired by, the songs and melodies that people are creating, but you also just might be inspired by people's energy and, the way they carry themselves. And that can just be equally, effective in getting you out of your rut and getting you out of that writer's block and just feeling good about being yourself. Because that's exactly what happened to me when I saw that woman. So 8, hold an interview with yourself. Ask yourself how you're feeling and talk about it. Put it out loud. Try to put your feelings into words. And it can be about, someone that's hurt you or someone that has loved you, someone that you've been angry with or someone that you've truly, truly loved and cared for. I do this all the time where I'll hold these interviews with myself and I'm like, how do you feel? Why do you feel that way? Have you ever, thought that maybe they did it because of this reason? And, how are you going to hold on to that, sadness? Or how are you, how'd you fall in love with that person? Or how'd you guys meet? All of those things. And I'll start vocalizing a lot of those things that I'm feeling. And sometimes these words come out of my mouth that I go, man, that's a lyric. That's something that I could put into a song. And not only that, I've done this while I'm in conversations with other people, right? When I'm talking to other people, sometimes I go, wow, what just came out of my mouth right now as I was talking about my feelings about this person or my feelings towards this situation, that needs to be a song. And I remember one time my little dog, so if y'all have ever seen my tattoo here, it says Le Munch. Her name was Munchie. But I was holding her and I loved this dog. She was my favorite dog. She passed away many years ago, but she was just my best friend. And I remember one time I was holding her and I was like, man, I hope that there's a heaven because I need more from you than just one lifetime. And I thought, oh my God, that is a song. Ended up creating a song called One Lifetime. And I just hope that there's a heaven cause I need more from you than just one lifetime. And I thought that was so beautiful and I knew that it came from this place of love. So as you go, you can interview yourself or just keep in mind as you talk to your friends, notice what you're talking about. Notice those words that are coming out of your mouth. Because I know for me, if I just get one good line, like that one good line, I could write the whole rest of the song based on how I felt about my little puppy, and that was just enough for me to write the entire song. Number 9, check out a Pandora station. I do this all the time. If I'm just not feeling, inspired or not feeling creative, I'll go check out what other people are creating. I'll check out others, Spotify playlists. I'll check out random things in random genres because sometimes I'll hear a beat like in another genre and then I can turn that into something else, right? Or maybe I just hear a guitar that inspires me, or maybe I hear some sort of piano melody that inspires me. So I would definitely suggest you can go to like a Pandora station. The reason why I love Pandora is because, let's say there's an artist that you like. Let's say you love Amy Winehouse. She's one of my favorites. I love Ray Charles. I love Stevie Wonder. These are all people that I love. But when I go to their Pandora station, there's music by other artists too. So not only am I listening to their music, but there will be other artists there that are similar to them, like similar to that style, but they're different and unique in their own way. And that could inspire you because you'll be introduced to new music styles, new writing styles, new lyrical styles that could possibly give you some ideas that maybe you didn't have previously. And 10, keep a note in your phone. I do this all the time. I have a note in my iPhone. I write down anytime I come up with topics, anytime something inspires me. And it can be something that I thought of, or maybe something that someone says, or maybe after watching a movie or after taking a walk, some thought like hits me and I'm like, yes, that should be a song, but maybe I don't have time to write it right now. And then what happens is when I get into the studio at any point, or when I sit at my piano, I'll start looking at my topics and I go, what is speaking to me right now? Or sometimes I'll write a melody on my piano. You don't have to be a musician, obviously, but for me, I play the piano and then sometimes I go, man, that makes me feel happy. And I'll look at my topics. What topics do I have here that are happy? Same thing if you're a producer and you're just trying to create music. Maybe you want to create something that feels like what you're thinking about. Maybe you wrote down a topic and you just want to create the music that would surround that feeling. If you're a lyricist, maybe you just don't have the time, while you're grocery shopping, but something pops up in your head. Write it down so that whenever you do have time and you're sitting there and you're feeling creative, you can look at that notepad and go, man, this is really speaking to me right now. I'm going to finish writing that song, or I'm going to start writing this song. Definitely do that, because I've had many times where I go, man, that's a good idea for a song. I won't forget it. I'll write about it later. And then of course, I totally forget it. All right, everybody, I'm Christine Morel. That was 10 ways to stay inspired, even if you're not feeling creative or you got writer's block. Check out the links below if you would like some more awesome resources to help you build your independent music career. And I will see you guys on the next one. Adios.